Today's door opens with a chilly blast, for winter has arrived with a vengeance. Since prehistory, the winter solstice has been seen as a significant time of year in many cultures, and was marked by festivals and rituals celebrating the symbolic death and rebirth of the sun. The ancients knew that the winter solstice was the longest night of the year, and that meant that the sun was beginning its long journey back towards Earth. It was a time of celebration and for rejoicing in the knowledge that soon the warm days of spring would return and the dormant Earth would come back to life. On this one day, the sun stands still in the sky, and everyone knows that change is coming. Marking the passage of time was important to many ancient cultures. Their circle of life revolved around growing crops and tending herds, and getting things right could mean the difference between life and death. Winter was also a time of fear, as the days grew shorter and colder and food became scarce. People must have longed for the return of light and warmth, so ritual became very important to ensure its return. Animals were slaughtered, as it was harder to feed them, so fresh meat would be plentiful. Wine and beer would be fermented and ready to drink, so the scene is set for one hell of a party. Of course, the solstice also signifies the start of Yule, and many of us have already partaken in a Yule tradition and have decorated our Christmas trees. Drinking and feasting is also an important part of Yule. It was also customary for an extra place to be laid at the table. This custom harks back to Yule's ancient origins as a festival of the dead. At Yule, the spirits of the ancestors were permitted to return to the land of the living. As such, they were welcomed back into the home to visit their kin and partake of the food and drink. In a strange, roundabout way, this leads us back to one of the most significant sites for the winter solstice celebrations, Stonehenge. Now, Stonehenge is a bit of an enigma. For years it was the summer solstice celebrations here that got all the attention, but now it appears that the winter solstice was far more important. It's now believed that the site was a place of healing and a memorial to the dead, erected to honour and perhaps spiritually connect with distant ancestors. A massive telephone to the dead, in fact. Now, I bet that's not an app included on the latest iPhone model.